Mompreneurs, let's talk about the 5 people that you should stop making time for in your life and your business for greater success and more impact. Welcome to a bonus episode of the Good Enough Mompreneur podcast. I'm your host, Angela Michuli, and this week I'm going to start a new series of mini episodes where I share tips and information about business from my perspective. And I can't wait to dive into this week's mini episode where I'm going to talk about the 5 people that you need to stop making time for in your life and your business. First, before we get to that, we need to talk about why it's important that you're discerning with the people and that you spend your time and your energy on. First of all, let's all realize that your time and your energy is your most precious resource. You should guard it, you should protect it, and create very strong boundaries around your time and energy so you can achieve what it is you are looking to do in your business. So if we don't learn how to set boundaries, we wind up feeling drained and exhausted and resentful when we're trying to be everything to everyone. And often women have a codependency on others' feelings because when we're raised, we're conditioned to be people pleasers and not to upset anyone. And we're very nurturing and we want everyone to be okay. But a really big light bulb goes off when we realize we're not responsible about how others feel. That's not our responsibility and we can't control, and it's really just none of our business how other people feel, especially feel about us. So we cannot please everyone, so we need to stop trying. And what's really interesting is if someone's critical about you, there's someone that's probably looking to be critical about something anyway. So you're never going to please them. So keep that in mind. We also need to stop looking for outside validation and really, truly value ourselves and have self-love and a healthy dose of self-worth. So we stop trying to be and do everything to everyone. And then true freedom is really knowing yourself, being confident in your needs and not caring about what other people think. A really important thing to remember about why you need to be discerning about who and what you spend your time on is that we are a product, an average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And then I would take that a step further in that we are a product of the expectations of the people that we spend time with. Do they expect us to fail? Do they expect to be miserable? Are they going somewhere in their life? If you want to start making $1 million in your business, you need to spend time with people who expect that they too will make $1 million in their business. And then you start to see how your life begins to change. Then I heard this really great quote from Dan Martell, who's a guest on Sam Skelly's podcast recently. He said, "We should all endeavor to be a lighthouse, not a tugboat." So what does he mean by that? We should all be a lighthouse where we're shining our light so if people want to see and know about what we're doing, they can. And not be a tugboat where we're constantly trying to rescue everyone around us. So, now that we've talked about the reasons why we need to be discerning, let's talk about the 5 people that you may be making time for in your life and your business that are just totally draining you. So the first person you need to not make time for is the emotionally immature person. these people are usually stuck in an age of a lot of trauma. And they're just stuck there until they learn how to deal with it. They take everything personally. They have a victim mentality. They're usually very negative, and they like to gossip. The second person that you need to not make time for is someone who zaps your energy. They feel like an energy vampire every time they're around. You look forward to them leaving, and you feel exhausted. They can't or won't reciprocate. They drain all of your energy. They dump all of their problems on you. And they always need to be rescued because they just can't manage everything. The third person that you need to not make time for in your life and your business is somebody who's not humble enough to learn. Maybe they think they know everything. They're not willing to listen to anyone else's thoughts. They're very rigid thinkers. They don't have a growth mindset, and they're often very emotionally immature and very reactive. So the fourth person that you shouldn't make time for in your life and business is someone with no growth mindset. They are not interested in self-improvement at all. They're stuck. They're unmotivated and depressing, and they're someone who may look at you with envy on how you're growing and you're learning things, and they just feel like they are very stuck. And you may want to help them, but really somebody who thinks that way, continue to do your thing, but you really can't save somebody who doesn't want to save themselves and change their mindset. So the fifth person you really need to not make time for in your life and business is somebody who lacks self-management, and they don't plan well. You're always the victim of their lack of planning. They don't have ultimately a lot of self-love. They're often the victim. They tend to be low energy, always tired, and act as if they're on a hamster wheel or a treadmill in life. They're really uninspired and act as though they're trudging through life. So I would love to hear if you have been making time for any of these people. Maybe you see some of these kind of behaviors in yourself. And the good news is that we all learn behaviors that kind of help us through childhood, even early adulthood, but we can definitely learn strategies to change that. So we are uplifting, we uplift ourselves, and we uplift others around us. And in the meantime, we run more successful businesses, we have happier families, and we have greater impact. So I hope you enjoyed this short episode and my thoughts on the 5 people that you should not make time for. Let me know what you think. You can connect with me at mombusinesscoach.com. You can see there where you can send me an email. You can always DM me on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. If you're enjoying this content, please leave us a review, share it with somebody, and then you can subscribe for free wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss an episode. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a great one. Talk to you next time. Bye.